Recently, I had a video taken down from Facebook, and got a 3-day suspension. The video in question starts by showing Jeff Glover tricking out on a stability ball. 30 seconds into the 1-minute-long clip, it cuts to a scene of an adorable panda falling off a giant snowball. Seems innocent enough. But within a day, the video starts getting angry comments from Karen, the owner of the stability ball clip. Karen proceeds to call me a douche who can't make my own content. She also threatens to consult her lawyer, to compel me to make my own content, or at least pay her for ripping her off. Immediately upon seeing this, I try to make amends by offering her a t-shirt, and I link her YouTube video as a source. A few hours later, with no further word from Karen, I get a takedown notice from Facebook and slapped with a suspension. This incident was particularly egregious, as 30 seconds of her 2-minute video was used to make a parody, something which clearly falls within the fair use exception of copyright law. Still baffled by Karen's outburst, I decided to make this video to address her directly. Karen, after much introspection, I now suspect that you saw my actions as not just a slight against you, but against all content creators. A lesson needed to be taught. As a warning to other potential douches thinking of ripping off a content creator's hard work. Now, speaking out is a good thing. There are too many negative stories out there that need to be brought to the community's attention. Thinking deeper, your act was one of principle and courage. Standing up to right a wrong, without fear of reprisal, is always to be saluted. With this epiphany, I now want to support your fight to seek justice for other copyright transgressions you might have suffered. I have searched the internet and discovered several more instances where your video has been violated. In most of these instances, it's a direct re-uploading with no attempt to even transform your original work. Outrage, though, is only effective if the battles are chosen wisely. Going after these small fish won't really accomplish anything. Bring one freebooter down, another one springs up. What we need is a bigger cause to champion, and I think I just may have the right one worthy of your outrage. Truth is, Karen, I have been carrying a deep secret for several months now. Last year, I made a 4-part series on Damian Maia's use of BJJ and MMA. This series took more than 100 hours of research, planning and editing. It was a labor of love, and gave me immense satisfaction. However, things took a turn when a well-known combat sports personality went on Joe Rogan. This personality, whom I shall call Mr. Round, Mr. Edge, proceeded to break down Maia's grappling skills in a way that seemed like a direct reproduction of my work. Please do listen to the following snippets and gauge for yourself.
The passes that he's using now, that he kind of tripods, and it's kind of like a smash pass. All Damon Maia is looking for when he's on his back is the underhook. He wants people to sit into Z-guard when he's on bottom. He doesn't want to do that because he knows that that's actually the wrong thing to do. So he tripods.
Now, it is possible he saw another series of videos and I am mistaken. Please do watch the studies and tell me if I am imagining things. There was no citation or direct attribution given to me. This was all that was mentioned of me.
There's a guy who broke down all his jiu-jitsu on YouTube into 4 parts, and it's pretty fucking interesting.
See? I wasn't even given the dignity that you had, as little as it was. Your gym's name was at least present on the walls in my video. Now, you may say that this was not plagiarism. After all, Mr. Edge was paraphrasing. But there has been a precedent for something like this before, and there were real consequences. At the time, I was flattered. He was giving me all this attention, and even though I was not directly named, I felt glad that my analysis was getting out to a larger audience. But this harassment continues to persist. Till this day, Mr. Edge continues to freeboot my videos on his own Instagram without consent, sometimes ruthlessly within minutes of me uploading them. Imagine my dismay at having my hard editing work brandished like a trophy to his massive social media following with no prior warning at all. To be honest, I have not been bothered by this behavior. But after my incident with you, I now realize I should be outraged. How dare this person take my content without consent or attribution, in order to raise his profile and standing in the community? If taking 30 seconds of your video made me a douche in your eyes, I imagine that hearing about my non-consensual encounters must send you over the edge. I did briefly think about calling out Mr. Edge, but his social media following dwarfs mine. Also, I was afraid to embarrass myself. After all, who would take my outrage seriously? I also don't have a lawyer to consult to find out how I may be compensated for being ripped off. But now, I finally have you, Karen. In a cruel ironic twist of fate, I think we are kindred spirits, having both suffered the same kind of copyright abuse. Karen, I know you were offended. And to be honest, initially I was offended, that you were offended. Upon hearing this, you are probably offended, that I was offended, that you were offended. Let's break this vicious cycle, and turn our frowns, upside down. So, I am proposing an alliance. By our powers combined, your outrage, and my victimhood, we can take on Mr. Edge. And perhaps, I might finally get the justice I now think I deserve. You two will be able to send a message. That there are people of principle, who will call out bad behavior, no matter your standing in the BJJ community, no exceptions. This whole thing is getting me excited. In case you don't see this video, I am going to send you an email right now. Unfortunately, as you never contacted me directly, I don't have your details. But not to worry, in the takedown notice I received from Facebook, your email was there. I'll pull it up now. Then we can start drafting our first angry comment on Mr. Edge's Facebook page. Wait a minute. Motherfucker.